Hi everyone and welcome back to Sunrise Tarot. My name is Leah and today I'm doing a reading for the sign of Cancer for the first 2 weeks in August, August 1st through the 15th. Please remember this is a general reading. There may be some parts that do not resonate with you. Please take the parts that do resonate and leave the rest behind. I've already meditated on the cards and I've already shuffled the cards, and this is the spread that I have for you today, dear Cancer. And in the past position we have the Three of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. In the obstacle position we have the Five of Cups and the High Priestess, Eight of Wands in the present, as well as Three of Pentacles in the present, and the Ace of Swords and Two of Swords in the future outcome position. So overall, the first 2 weeks in August actually look pretty they look pretty okay. I mean, the cards are not great. You've got the, Five of Cups as an obstacle, and you also have the Ace of Swords in the future outcome position, which of course suggests to me that you're going to have to make some hard choices. But if we start in the past position, we've got the Three of Swords, which is of course a card of betrayal. It's a card of heartbreak, sadness, hurt. It could mean depression sometimes. It's definitely you in the past overcame something significant. There was some kind of a pain involved. Swords oftentimes represent words. So when someone, says a word that hurts your heart, I mean, it's not just kind of criticism. It's something that, inflicts pain, direct pain. And, it's usually someone who knows you pretty well, someone who knows where your buttons are. So in the past, you overcame a challenge, a pretty big challenge. The Knight of Pentacles is an interesting clarifier here. It could mean a few different things. The Knight of Pentacles as a standalone card is actually a very good positive card. I mean, it is a card of hard work, and it's not the most fastest card, but it could for some mean that there is a large reward that was, provided after some kind of a difficult thing that you overcame. It could be that someone came to your rescue, like a knight in shining armor. It could be that in the past someone, had a very positive influence on you. This could also be a card of hard work. And it's kind of good card for the financial side of things, good card for love side of things. So it's a very positive card, but of course it's not in the main placement. The main placement is the Three of Swords, and together in the combination, of course, the Three of Swords, it has a kind of more significance in terms that the pain was pretty big that you overcame, and there could have been some help that you received in order to overcome betrayal. There could have been some support, maybe from a family member, or it could be, if this is related to work, there could be like a coworker or someone like in a professional sphere that helped you out. But it looks like you had to let go of something in order to kind of get to the calmer waters, in order to get to a good place. You definitely overcame a pretty big challenge, and it looks like you kind of have obstacle after obstacle in a way, because in the negative position you have the Five of Cups and the High Priestess, which are quite difficult cards as well, in addition to the Three of Swords, of course. The Five of Cups is a card of loss. Very rare cases. It could also mean, like you've actually lost someone to death, meaning someone died and you're mourning, you're grieving in a way. The High Priestess is generally a very positive card, but in the negative position, it suggests that you are not connecting with people as well. You're having you're lacking some kind of knowledge. The High Priestess is a pillar card, and it's a card that represents the pillar of knowledge. So of course in the obstacle position, it means lack of knowledge. There is something that you may not be aware of. There could be that people are keeping secrets from you, and it could be that your relationship is unfortunately moving in a direction of separation, or it could be that your work situation is moving in the direction of separation. But I mean, there's clearly loss, and there's clearly secrets, and there's clearly some kind of it's not necessarily deception. Deception is usually something that is done for kind of hurtful purposes. But here, I just think that people are not being considerate of you. That's how this reading feels to me. It's not that someone is necessarily after you. It's not that someone wants something from you, but it's that people are not being supportive and not connecting. They're not clicking with you, and there is a bit of a anxiety in this reading, as well as worry about tomorrow, and that is why in the present position you've got the Eight of Wands, which is the card of action. This is it's a warning from the divine to jump into action, to start working on maybe reconnecting, start working on rebuilding a relationship, start taking on work to if you are lacking in that area of your life. But Eight of Wands is a very promising new beginning. It's a very promising card that suggests that good news may be coming to some of you. It could be that you're going to find that your communication with other people is getting stronger and stronger. You seem to kind of been aware of the situation here, and so you're actively in the first 2 weeks of August, you're going to try and maybe be open to communicating with other people, maybe go out there and be social. You're trying to get over some difficult things that have recently happened in your past. So you're definitely moving yourself forward, and you're definitely trying to have some kind of a new beginning where you can pursue the goals that you have. And of course, the Three of Pentacles is a card of teamwork, collaboration. It could be that you're helping someone and you're showing them how to do something because you have the expertise. Take advantage of that moment, because when you teach someone, you also learn something, but you also could be learning. You could be the apprentice in this scenario as well. But it is a very promising combination, because the Eight of Wands is generally regarded as a very positive card where things are coming together, things are working out in your favor. Now, that is not guaranteed that they will completely work out. You have to put a lot of work into it. But things are moving in the right direction, certainly moving away from some of this grief, from some of this worry, from some of this, you may be feeling a little bit like you are not. It almost seems to me, with the Three of Swords and the Five of Cups, that you are having a difficulty reconciling why you have the feelings that you have and how to process them. There could also be that you are kind of trying to reconcile the feelings with logic as well. But it's definitely in the recent past, you've had a bit of a difficult time, but it is getting better. And of course, in the future outcome, we've got the Ace of Swords and the Two of Swords. The Ace of Swords is a card of new beginning. The Two of Swords is a card of making a decision. But again, very much like the High Priestess, there's some kind of information you still have to find. There's something that you must know that has not been communicated to you. Maybe you kind of turned your back onto some piece of information, but it is essential for you to make sure that you have your eyes wide open so that you can make the best decision in the sphere that concerns you the most. The Ace of Swords is a new beginning card, so it's definitely the divine is supporting you. The divine is kind of, on your side. It's also a card of maybe a hard-won victory where, yes, you come out victorious or you overcome a situation, but on the other hand, it also costs you. Life is generally, we live in a dual world where there's an action and there's an immediate reaction. And so you may have a wish come true that you kind of wanted, but there is a cost associated with that wish. And that cost could be that you have to make, difficult decisions, quickly, and have to, later on deal with a problem that you also have to overcome. So definitely this is not, the combination here, the future combination is not a 100% guarantee that everything in the future is going to work out in your favor. There's still a lot of room where the divine says you need to, put planning into things. You need to strategize. You need to make sure you know who you can rely on support for, even if it's only advice. You need to make sure that you have, a group of people in place to help you achieve your goals if, they are needed. This could also mean that, you are receiving some kind of a advice from friends or family, but there's definitely someone around you that is, a friend to you, that is supportive of you. And the divine, obviously is bringing you the good news, and it's definitely saying that maybe you learn a secret, maybe you learn what the information that you didn't see is, and because of that you attain clarity, which also helps you kind of achieve your goals. Let's see what the energy oracles have for us. I also pulled 2 cards from the energy oracle deck, and it says 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel, and the garden and the gate. Both are very positive cards, and we'll start with Archangel Gabriel, of course. This card suggests that Gabriel holds his trumpet in one hand and a beautiful orb of blue light in the other. He is sending powerful energy to your throat center, acknowledging your power to communicate and your readiness to do so. This angel opens you up to truthful expression, both with yourself and others. You may have had trouble with expressing emotions and ideas in the past, which is clearly evident by this challenging obstacle. You are kind of in this negative position. You're struggling to express how you feel in a way where other people can, understand that and be, kind of supportive. Speak up for yourself. Write in your journal. Let your words flow. Now is the time to express how you feel, and the universe will listen. This card also indicates that a communication project is coming up, and we know that with the 3 of Pentacles. So definitely be on the lookout for the different communications from the spirit and the divine. There are people who are, maybe in heaven, who are trying to reach you, who are trying to communicate with you in order for you to, do well. And of course, if you are kind of focusing on the negative or maybe the pessimistic things, you may not be receiving those messages well. It's important to meditate. It's important to kind of have clear channels in your subconscious so that the messages come through better. The garden and the gate, it's a card of abundant prosperity and staying safe. This card shows a peaceful young woman in a beautifully blossoming garden with colorful flowers. However, the gate to the road outside the garden is locked, while the girl wears a key on a chain around her neck. This card upright bodes well for the financial scene. In fact, there may be a lot of money or other personal pleasures coming your way at this time, but beware, the choice to stay in the seeming security has, of course, a cost because you are afraid of the unknown. The unknown is enticing you with its beauty, and it's important to sometimes let your spirit roam free. While it's fine to amass a great deal of wealth, don't let it keep you from your karmic path or from living your truth. You have the choice to shift your focus, widen your spiritual perspective, and gain the world that is just outside your gate. So the divine is giving you the choice. Do you want to kind of stay in a golden cage? Meaning, some of you may not be in a golden cage, but, it's, you know what I mean. It's like staying where you know how things are feels safer rather than trying something new because that feels scary. And the divine most of the time rewards people who take risks. Of course, the risks have to be weighed, they have to be considered, they have to be you have to certainly understand what kind of risk you're going towards. And sometimes, especially like for me, I've had in my lifetimes where I just kind of just went for it without any kind of safety net, and most of the time it has paid off. I don't really know any time it has not, because when I've had it, and like I remember moving far away, I did quite well because wherever you go, you meet nice people. So sometimes going into the unknown territory is only scary in your head, but actually it brings lots of opportunities, and it clears some of this negative energy. Maybe, you're kind of around the same people, and maybe bringing in some new energy, some new kind of point of view, helps you see things a little bit differently. It freshens, you up, and it gives you an ability to achieve your goals with renewed energy. Let's see what ancestors and angels have for us. I also pulled 2 ancestors and angel cards, and it says autumn, release the old and rest, and eagle, see from a higher perspective. Definitely. It's a reminder, again, kind of supports what the garden and the gate says here. It's change your perspective. If you feel a little bit stuck, if you feel a little bit surrounded by a little bit of negative energy, change your perspective. But the good news are definitely on the way. Something, about these 2 cards, these are birds. Birds represent usually freedom. Very, very kind of interesting. There's something coming your way. It's some kind of news. It's some kind of a message. And I think that you will be annoyed slightly, but there will also be something really, really good. That is kind of the vibe I'm picking up. Autumn says release all of the pressure and expectation weighing you down. Shed it all so that you can recover before moving into a time of renewal. What's heavy, what is holding you back? Is it a person, a situation, a dream? Like the trees letting go of their leaves and fruit in the autumn, it's time to let it go. So definitely the word of the day for the first 2 weeks of August, Cancer, is going to be, let it go, let it go. Worries, let it go. Dreams, let it go. Just let it all go. Shed, so that your mind can have a clear slate, an empty slate, and so that I can rebuild, heal, build something wonderful, make new connections. Also make sure to burn sage, because it clears out negative vibrations, negative energies around you. When you do that at home, you just, kind of say a few words, and then you open the windows, open the doors, and you let the negative energy leave. And if you do it on a more or less consistent basis, then it definitely has an effect on you. It has an effect because your mind starts to believe that it has an effect, and so then you start to feel more positive and more positive and more positive. But it's definitely, when the autumn card arrives, it suggests that, things are changing for the better, but you need to listen to, all these messages that are coming through. Messages can come when you notice something, even if it is the smallest thing. Just paying attention to different, cues around you. Make sure that you kind of take a stroll in nature. Make sure that you connect with the environment around you, rather than just always sit or be inside of a building. Make sure that you feel all the elements that Earth has to offer, sun and rain and wind. It's very good for your body and your mind. And when you let go, you make space for something new, and that allows you to move forward to better sort of pastures. Eagle is a card of looking at things with a new eye. It's just, it opens you up to things you have not seen. I am trying to pull up the further message of this card, and it says, look at things from a different angle, fly higher, and see new possibilities. Eagle medicine swirls around you, encouraging you to recognize that your views or vision may be limited at this time. Absolutely supports this negative obstacle to cards. You're not seeing something that is very obvious. You're not seeing something that is very important for you that could have an effect on how you proceed or how you treat yourself or others. There's something you're not seeing, so you need to readjust your position. If there are other people involved, you're being guided to see things from everyone's perspective. So if there's a little bit of drama, if there's a disagreement with someone, try and see their point of view, which can be difficult. For example, I had someone that was promoted. I left a firm and went to a new firm. But in my old firm, somebody was promoted, and I thought it was a very interesting choice. And, even regardless of how I felt about it, I realized that for that person that got promoted, that was an incredible happy moment. They were happy. And just for me to be able to put myself in those, that person's shoes was very uplifting. And it was just, it made me happy for that person. Regardless of whether I kind of approved of that promotion or didn't approve, I knew that that person who got promoted was very, very happy and couldn't, wish for better things. I mean, they were just beyond happy. And when you allow yourself to feel someone's happiness, it definitely makes for an easier time, especially in a situation where you think you should have been promoted. Know that if you have intentions that aren't for the highest good, it will only hold you back. Eagle medicine can help you change this. The eagle brings the energy of healing and love directly from the heart of Father Sky and invites you to do all things from a place of love. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, please feel free to leave any comments. I appreciate all the feedback, and it helps me connect with your energies as well. And also, I hope you check back next week when I do the second part of August reading for you, Cancer. That might shed a little bit of clarity on some of what's going to happen in August. Again, if you enjoyed my video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.